I'm Tax Attorney Darrin Mish, and I'm here to tell you today, March the 25th of 2020, about the IRS's new initiative just released this afternoon called People First. It's pretty interesting. I've been practicing in the IRS tax controversy space for over 20 years, and I've never seen anything like this. But I know a lot of people are going to want this information, and so the best way that I could come up with to get this information out there was to go ahead and shoot this short video. The first thing that I want to talk about is if you're on an existing installment agreement. If you're on an IRS payment plan right now and you had payments due between April 1st, 2020 and July the 15th of 2020, you're not going to have to make those payments. It would be a good idea, if you can afford to make those payments, to make those payments. But if you cannot afford to make those payments due to the COVID-19 situation or any other financial hardship that you may be experiencing, you don't have to make those payments, and the IRS will not be defaulting your installment agreement based on the failure of you to make those payments between April 1st and July the 15th. The second thing, if you have an offer in compromise that is now pending, so you've already submitted the offer in compromise and you're waiting for them to get back with you, or maybe you or your rep is in communication with an offer examiner or an offer specialist and they're asking for documentation, you're not going to be required to provide that documentation before July the 15th. They may ask you, but if you don't cooperate or if you can't cooperate, at least until July the 15th, your offer will not be returned and or rejected because of your failure to cooperate. So that's pretty promising as well. Accepted offers in compromise. This is interesting. If you have an accepted offer in compromise and you're still within your 5-month period of making your payments, your cash offer payment, or I would interpret this as if you're in that 24-month short-term deferred offer and compromise repayment, you do not have to make your payments until July 15th, and your offer will not be defaulted if you don't make those payments. So that's really good. If you had an accepted offer, and as you may recall, you have to file your tax returns for the next 5 years on time, and you can't have any new balances. If you have not filed your 2018 return, then you have until July 15th of 2020 to file your 2018 and your 2019 tax return if you have an accepted offer, and you won't be considered in default unless you don't have your 2018 return filed until after July the 15th, then you could be considered in default. Probably would be. This is a very big thing. All field collections, so all revenue officers, there will be no liens or levies sustained on any taxpayers until after July the 15th. Hopefully you're seeing the trend here now. Pretty much everything's going to be turned off until July the 15th. ACS, if you're dealing with the automated collection service, meaning if you just get the letters, you don't have a revenue officer assigned to your case, you just get letters with toll-free numbers and it's asking you to call them. No liens or levies will be sustained from ACS until July the 15th. So that's important. If you don't have a passport, or if you have a passport that needs to be renewed, the IRS will not be certifying what's called seriously delinquent tax liabilities to the State Department. So what that means is until after July the 15th. So what that means is if you need a passport or you need to renew your passport and you know you owe more than $52,000, but the IRS has not restricted your ability to renew or get a new passport, you're going to want to go ahead and do that before the July the 15th if you can. And lastly, audits. This says that all or most audits will be suspended. Some audits that can be conducted remotely, meaning the IRS already has the documentation, they may very well continue. You will have the choice if you want to continue in an audit. I can conceive of an idea where a business might have a lot of capacity to deal with an audit right now because maybe their workers are underemployed or don't have anything to do. So that will be your option if you want to cooperate with the IRS on an audit during these time frames. So I wanted to get that out to the public about this IRS People First Initiative. This is really important stuff. And so just take a deep breath. All this is going to blow over. Everything's going to be fine. I'm Darrin T. Mish. I appreciate you watching.